What is up, everyone? Guys, listen up. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at support gems, and we're also going to take a look at the skill tree, and I'm going to try to break everything down in a very simple way. So if you're a new player that is thinking about getting into PoE2 and these kind of systems like the support gem, the skill tree is a little bit overwhelming, I promise you after watching this video, you're going to understand that it's actually very, very simple. And I am going to be making a series of videos for all of these systems where I break these down for you so that you guys pretty much have zero questions at the end. And guys, you'll see it's way easier than it looks. And even though they did break some of these down on their live stream, in these videos, we're going to go a little bit more in depth. The first thing we're going to take a look at here is the support gem itself. Right here, you will see that the first one pops up. And essentially what you want to do, guys, is look at these gems as a means of upgrading your abilities. So if there is an ability that you just want to make stronger, then you're just going to take a gem and equip it on that ability. There's going to be a lot of gems, and all of them are going to have different kinds of effects on the ability that you want to upgrade. You will see that on the left, we have two skills, Lightning Rod and Lightning Arrow. Both of these skills right here have two open slots for gems. You can have 5 spots in PoE2, but right here you see that 2 are available. Here's the gem that we have. It says support, and then it says multiple projectiles. And if we look closer, it says supported skills fire 2 additional projectiles. So essentially, if you take this gem and equip it on Lightning Arrow, for example, instead of 1 arrow, you're shooting 3 arrows. There you go. That's the whole philosophy of gems. And then you find different kinds of gems and equip those on the ability that you want, and you make a perfect skill. Simple, right? It's really not as complicated as it looks like. Right here, you will see that the gem is currently equipped. So now let's take a look at an example. You will see that it shoots 1 grenade, boom, explodes. That's because the gem is not there. And with the gem, boom, you see 3 grenades. Once again, just as simple as that. Remember, you can always move these gems around freely from ability to ability. Another thing to know is that you cannot use the same exact gem on one ability. Now you might think, but Pip, there's like 3 red gems on this ability and 2 green gems on this one. How is that possible? If you pay close attention, you will see that yes, these are green gems, but the icons on these gems are not the same, meaning these gems have different kinds of effects. Now, when you're going to be playing the game at the beginning, you will have something called recommended gems, and show recommended gems is marked. So that is the only gems that it's going to show you. However, if you want to experiment and go into some absolutely insane, crazy combos and testing and whatever, watch this. All you got to do is remove the recommendation, and now look at how many options you have for a single skill, which in this case is explosive shot. The combinations you can try on a skill is going to be ridiculous in this game. It's going to be so much fun just to test all of these things out, compare all of these things, and just try to make, for example, you can make a skill that is like really going full out on damage, or something that's going to be amazing for ad clear, or maybe you're trying to create a skill that stun locks or freezes, or whatever it's going to be, poison, right? Life steal, probably all that kind of crazy stuff. Anything you can think of, you can test out and you can try, which is what really does make this game very, very unique. So now let's say you found a skill that you really like. In this case, let's say it's Glacial Bolt, and this one only has 4 sockets. You're gonna need an item called Perfect Jeweler's Orb, and this one says adds the socket to a skill gem with 4 sockets. And then all you gotta do is just slap it on there, boom, just like that, and you see now we have 5 slots. Now when you progress in the game, there's gonna be crazier gems and you're gonna find some cool stuff, but this is what you need to know about the gem system. I don't think it's as complicated as it really seems. It's pretty straightforward. Now let's get into the passive skill tree. And if you're thinking right now, holy, what is on my screen, Pip? I promise you, this is going to be the same thing. It's much more simple than it looks. And it looks beautiful, by the way, and also confusing at the same time when you're looking at it for the first time. But as we break it down, you'll see it's actually not that bad. First thing you need to know is each level is going to give you 1 point. as you pick a class, for example, in this case, you will see that it's a monk right here. Everybody starts at the same area, but you will take a different path, right? You will see now that there's like small skills, which are the normal nodes, and which give you smaller buffs, right? Well, it's not really that small, to be honest. If you want to refund your passives, you can do it at any time. You just got to spend some gold. Now, where it really gets interesting is not just the small passives, but the bigger ones. So let's take a look at that. This is where the game changes. In this case, it's called Blinding Strike, 24% increased attack damage, 10% chance to blind enemies on hit with attacks. So the bigger nodes don't just give you small buffs, such as, increased attack or speed or whatever it is. They actually give you cool effects, once again, that are tied directly to your skills, which is very cool. Now, keep in mind, we also went over gems, so you guys can see how crazy your abilities can become towards endgame when you unlock these things and combine and make these amazing combinations in general. Now, let's take a look at some examples of what these notables can actually do in combat. Right here, you see that one of these says reusable ammunition, 25% chance for crossbow attacks to not consume a bolt, which is very nice. But there's some other ones and crazier ones as well. The next one on the list here is going to be repeating explosives. Grenades have 20% chance to activate a second time. And that, if you think about it, is pretty crazy. A 20% chance is pretty high, and especially if you're able to spam that ability and you're trying to clear a lot of enemies, that will come in handy, and your clear and damage overall is going to be top tier, right? Then we have shrapnel, 30% chance to pierce an enemy. Projectiles have 30% chance to chain an additional time from terrain. Crazy things like this in combination, once again, with the gems are gonna take your gameplay to the absolute next level. And remember, you can use this on a ranger, you can use this on a monk. As long as you take the right path, you can move around and navigate to the skill that you want, no matter what class you start with. And that is what makes this game extremely unique. Obviously, you're going to have a different route to take depending on which class you pick at the beginning. But yeah, you can make it there and create some insane builds. And that I'm extremely excited for that. I am going to be uploading tons of builds and guides for the game, so stay tuned for that, okay? Then let's talk about attributes. Now, you got to understand that in PoE 1, this was not as simple. So in PoE 2, you will see that once you're picking one of these nodes, you get the ability to pick which of these perks that you want to, so to say, donate to this node. In this case, you see +5 strength, dexterity, and intelligence, depending on your class and what you're trying to achieve. You are going to go for that specific stat. That's about it. That's pretty simple, right? Now, the next very important things is going to be keystones. Now, these completely are going to change the way your character acts. Now, this one right here says Chaos Inoculation. Maximum life becomes 1, immune to chaos damage. It gets much more important than that as well. Now, there's an example right here. On the warrior, you see it says Giant's Blood. You can wield two-handed axes, maces, and swords in one hand. Double attribute requirements of weapons. These kind of things is what's gonna make the game extremely fun. As you guys can see, he's equipping 2 of them at the same time. Obviously, you can do some other crazy stuff as well. And this is all gonna be dependent on the playstyle that you're looking for. Pain Attunement, 30% less critical damage bonus when on full life, and then 30% more critical damage bonus when on low life. Okay, that's gonna be it for this one, guys. I wanted to make it as simple as possible, and hopefully this showed you guys that, it's not as complicated as it really looks. Once you understand the formula, it's pretty simple. Now, if you guys do enjoy these kind of videos, make sure to let me know in the comment section. And in case you do, I will be making more series like that where I go over some of the other systems. And yeah, once again, thank you so much for all the love and support. As always, stay positive, stay disciplined, and I'll see you all on the next one.
Let's go! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
I mean, we literally have the best community of all time.
Oh! Oh, he got no scoped!